Hi friends, it's Amber and I'm back with another Christmas in July video. I hope that you love today's project. I'm gonna show you how to make these cute little treat bags or gift bags or whatever, and you're gonna wanna mass produce so many of these for your gifts and your craft fair or coworker gifts, neighbor gifts, whatever. You can stuff these with whatever you want. It's gonna be so cute. I might even make these for my craft fair this year. So for each of these cute little mini bags, you're gonna need 2 pieces of 6x6, and then we use a little scrap for the strap here. So here's a close-up. Isn't it adorable? It is so easy to make, and I even cut a little tag and put some seam binding, and then the strap is made out of more of the scrapbook paper. Here's that one, and this is the same pattern paper, I just switched the sides. So you're gonna see how easy this is to make. And I just put a little craft right there so you could put the person's name. You could fill this with like journal cards and like crafty things, or you could fill it with like candies and goodies and gift cards for Christmas. This isn't my original idea. I'm sure you guys have seen this out there a lot. I was inspired by a crafter on Pinterest, and I will link that Pinterest below because she does like a quick little video on there. I made mine just a little bit different, and I just kind of wanted to make a couple myself so I could teach you the easiest and most user-friendly way to create these. They're gonna go so fast once you make a couple, and you're gonna wanna make a million. Let's go ahead and get started on the really simple tutorial. So to make one of these little bags, you will just need 2 pieces of scrapbook paper that measure 6x6, and I'm using double-sided. This is pretty sturdy cardstock. I'm using the Graphic 45 collection called Let It Snow. So I just took some 12x12 and cut it down to 6x6, and then I'm using just a scrap, and this is like a cute little strip that I cut off the paper collection, and this measures 3/4 of an inch by 7 1/4. And you can play with that measurement and just to what looks good for you when it comes to the width. This is how you're going to score it. Have this in here, top at the top, bottom at the bottom. You're gonna score in at 1.5 inches. Now be careful not to press too hard because you don't wanna puncture your paper. So then you're gonna turn this to where the top is on the left, and you're gonna score it again at 1.5 inches. Then turn it again to where now the other side is on the left, and you're gonna score this at 1.5 inches. And then you're gonna turn it to where the bottom of the paper is now on the left, and you're gonna score this at 1 inch. Take your second piece and do it the exact same way. So now you need to decide what side of the paper you want this and what side you want the strap. I want the main part of the bag to be this pretty red with the holly side. And then this side is gonna be like where the band is. So all you're gonna do is find the side that you scored at 1 inch. So as you can see, we scored this all around, but you scored just the bottom of the paper at 1 inch. So we're gonna fold that down like this. You're gonna do the exact same thing over here. Find the 1 inch line and fold it down. So next thing you're gonna do, just do these one at a time, flip it over, and fold on those 2 side 1.5 score lines, and just use your bone folder to crease your folds. So you've already made those score lines, you're just folding on them now. Then open it up and fold that bottom piece in. You've got everything folded up, and now do the same thing for this one. So now that you have everything folded, flap side up, you're gonna turn these to face each other just like this. I'm gonna do some gluing. I'm using Scor Tape, and I'm using wet glue. You can use your tape runner or whatever you want. These are meant to go very quick, but I do recommend getting wet glue involved because there's a part of this that you're gonna need wet glue for. So that's in a minute. And you can also use your tape runner. So I'm gonna use all 3 because for this part where these flaps are, I'm just gonna go ahead and glue them down so they're solid like this. And for that, I'm just gonna use my tape runner. So I'll link this below. I love it. It's a Scotch permanent tape runner. So I'm just gonna glue that down, get it out of the way. Same with this side. So now that you have those flaps glued down, you're gonna go on your left sheet here and just add glue to this bottom flap. So I'm gonna use Scor Tape for this because I want it to stay really strong. It's gonna hold these two together to make our little bag. So now that that's all sticky with tape, you're gonna take this one, and remember you have the same flap on this side. You're just gonna glue that right even with this one to where it meets the score line here but does not go over it. And now you have those two pieces adhered together. So now it's one piece. Here's how it looks on this side. So where you just glued that in the middle, it looks like this. And as you know, we have the fold here and here. So where you just glued that down, you're gonna take your scissors and just cut this little square to that 1.5 inch score line, just like that. And do the same thing on this side. So this is 2 layers of paper right here because we just glued that down. So that's all you're gonna do. You're just gonna make those little cuts so this little square is free like this. And you're gonna do the exact same thing on this side. So then there's that one, and those now flip in. So now that we have those cut out, you're still on the front because remember this is the main part of our gift bag. What you're gonna do is just flip this over. So now the 2 flaps that you just cut need some adhesive, and I'm gonna use some Scor Tape on these. And this is 2 layers of paper, so it's gonna need some pretty strong adhesive. Now this is where your wet glue comes in. The only place to add the wet glue is on the right side to these 2 side panels. So I'm gonna go ahead and add glue all the way to the edge, just on that panel and just on this one, nothing in the middle. And the reason I'm using wet glue here is because it gives you more time to line everything up and it's a little more forgiving. And I'll show you why that's important in just a second. So now that you have your glue here and your glue here and here, you're gonna take the left side and bring it up and glue these side panels right to those side panels on the left side. So I hope that was easy to see what I did. I just picked that side up and then put those 2 side panels that we put Scor Tape on and glued them right to the side of that. And then you're gonna take your right side that you put glue on and bring it up and close it up, and you know those have glue on them, and just make sure that everything is straight. You do have time to do that. You can make sure it's lined up here and make sure it's lined up on this side, and just gently push the sides in. And then what you can do is lay it down like this and take your bone folder like that and just smooth out those sides. And if anything moves, you still have a little time because you use wet glue. And then just switch it over to this side and make sure it's all straight, and use your bone folder to make sure it's all glued down. And it makes the most adorable little goodie bag. Isn't this so cute? And it was just 2 pieces of 6x6 paper. So the way that I determined the front of the bag is this is where we glued it. So there's like a seam right here. But on this side is just the fold. So this is what I consider the front because it's more finished and it looks better. So that's how I consider the front. And I'm gonna show you how we're going to add our little paper strap now. So I'm gonna use my Cropodile. You can just use a hole punch if you don't have one. And this is optional. I'm also gonna be using some of these eyelets because as you can see here, I use them on my ones that I made before. Under there. So these are the ones that I have. So I'm just gonna pick 2 out that match, and I think I'll use red. So I'm going to use 2 extra wide eyelets in the red color. And again, if you don't have eyelets, don't even worry, just punch the hole. So I'm going to put those aside just a second. So this part I'm just going to eyeball. I'm going to take my strip that measures 3/4 by 7 1/4. And I'm just going to punch a hole about, a 1/2 inch up on both sides. So I'm going to do it on both sides and I'm going to show you how it looks. So I just punched a hole there and right there. Then I'm going to do the same for this. I'm going to take and punch a hole on both sides of my little gift bag with the same size hole. So I'm just going to go about, a 1/2 inch or 1/4 inch down. It doesn't really matter. That's how it looks. So there's that hole. And then just eyeball it on this side. So what I'm going to do is just take my eyelet and stick it in there. And then I'm going to take my cute little strap. And the eyelet has, so I fed the eyelet through the back here. So I'm just going to take my strap and put that on the eyelet. Just like this. Make sure you have it straight, because on one of mine, I don't know if you noticed, I did it a little crooked. So just make sure it's straight, and then take the Cropodile with the setting part right here, and you're going to put the little part that springs in and out inside that eyelet. So it's hard to show you on camera because it's such a weird angle, but I just have that inside the eyelet and then chomp. So just make sure, again, that you have the paper straight. Maybe hold it with your other hand so that way it's in there straight, because otherwise it's like crooked over here. So just make sure you have that straight, and then you're going to go on this side and pop your eyelet in again. See how the eyelet comes out right there? You're going to just fit that hole right over it from the paper, just like that. And then make sure it's straight. And then take your Cropodile, where the little springy part is right on top of that eyelet. And again, just chomp it. And it's that easy. And now you have a cute little decorative eyelet on both sides of your cute bag. I'll link some of these below along with the Cropodile. It is worth investing in because I love having this for tags and pages for my journals and things like that. And you can even like add little cute eyelets to the side of your papers and hang charms. So it's a really nice product to have, and I love having this in my craft room when I don't lose it. So I'm trying to pull from the same paper collection, and we have these cute little squares down here, which I think would be adorable for the tag. Because really the tag is just a little tiny little tag that you could put like the person's name on. So I think I'm going to cut one of these out. I think I like this one. This says love. So I cut this out of the paper, and I'm going to use one of my corner chomper things, and I'm just going to make it a little more decorative. So I think I'll use the scallop one and just make these scalloped. So there's my cute tag, and because this side has a print on it, I want to be able to write the person's name who I'm gifting this to. So I'm going to take just a little scrap of craft paper. It doesn't have to be that big, and I don't have a measurement for this. It's just whatever is a bit smaller than the tag that you choose. And so I'm going to cut this and go ahead and use the same corner chomper. And this is just a way to add a little journal spot or a little place to write. So I'm going to put that on the back. I'm just simply going to use my tape runner. Okay, so I've got that all ready to go. So here's the front of my cute little gift bag, and here's my tag. I'm just gonna put it right here on the side so it hangs like this. So I need to punch a hole right there. So I just grabbed a little piece of seam binding, and I'm gonna put the seam binding from the inside on the left side of the bag. You can do this on whichever side you want, and feed it through the hole. And you can use twine or ribbon for this if you want. but I'm feeding it through the hole there, and then I'm gonna feed it through the hole on the tag. And if you wanna put another eyelet in the tag, you can do that. And I'm just gonna grab the other tail and tie this into a cute bow, pretty loose though, so you can still write on that tag. Okay, so we've just added the cutest little tag right here and bow with the seam binding, and you can write right there on the craft paper. And just fill this with some goodies, or make these for your craft fair, or teacher gifts, neighbor gifts, coworker gifts, whatever you want. I think this would be so fun to make a bunch of these. Just use up your 6x6 pads, or you can use up your 12x12 and just cut it down like we did. But isn't that just the cutest little bag? Okay, so here's our cute gift bags. Here's the one we made together. I ended up doing this one on the right side and then these two on the left, but they all are super adorable with the seam binding and the little tag that we added. And then of course our cute straps made from paper. I hope that you guys enjoyed this. It's a little something different, and that you'll go out and see your paper in a different way. I'll link everything I use below. Hopefully this paper collection is still available, but really you can use any paper for this, for any occasion, any season. I hope that you enjoyed it. Thank you so much, and I will be back with another Christmas in July video on Monday. Thanks for watching, everybody. Bye.